Voiceover Coffee Shop, Episode 18.
Welcome to the Voiceover Coffee Shop, where we share our morning with some of the finest names in voiceover. And now, here's your host, voice actor Andrew Morrison.
Hi there. My name is Andrew Morrison, and welcome to the Voiceover Coffee Shop, where we start our day with some of the finest names in voiceover. If you'd like to know more about me, feel free to visit my personal website at www.voicebard.com. In this episode, we have coffee with my dear friend, Josh Alexander. Josh is a superhero of a voice actor and a marketing master who has partnered his services with clients like Zillow, Amazon, Google, Uber, Enterprise, John Deere, Nutrisystem, and many more. In this episode, we talk about helping clients find you, how to truly hustle yourself to success, creating a non-intrusive email, and finding clients on Instagram. Josh, how are you?
Me? Oh, I thought you were talking about someone else. I was just, what a delight.
So how do you take your coffee, Josh?
I take my coffee with lots of hyper, actually. So I've been called hyper once or twice, but I take it with so the Keurig cups were new to me as of like 2012. What I did not know was someone had one of those carousels, and they had a butter toffee coffee K-cup. Never heard of it. I was like, give it a whirl, put it in there, and just like you talk about something rocking your world. I have the butter toffee coffee K-cup plus hazelnut creamer, like the sugar-free creamer. Never again. I mean, I'll go through a Starbucks drive-through for maybe a ham and cheese croissant or something, but this stuff, it's crack. This is like what I need every day.
Gotcha.
So right here.
So you started at Bellevue studying music, and then you started going into video production. How did that translate into you diving yourself into the voiceover world?
I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. I like to say that it's more or less an accident how I got into voiceovers. So if anybody who knows my story before will know, I was working as a telemarketer, and there's no shame. There's lots of glory to be had as a telemarketer. But I was actually selling PSAs, so I was in the frame of mind and the mode to be calling people and actually offering these things, right? I'd have to give them a live demo. You actually would. This is back in the days where you press play on the tape bed, and it's like piped into your phone. So I'd read them a live version of whatever this PSA was. And one or two clients said, we like it, but only if you buy. We'll buy only if you read. And so I was just, first time that happened, it was like, he wants me to read. Can I read this? So I actually had to ask permission and was really pleasantly surprised. But boy, when I stepped into the studio, changed my life. I said, I love this, and changed my life. I bounced back and forth between that and music, and I for many years went the direction of music because I am very musical and I sang. I don't think there is a lot of comparison between singing on stage or in a studio to voiceovers, because they're two completely different approaches, completely different equipment. And I write everything myself, whereas you're reading scripts and voiceovers. So I don't think they translate too well, other than learning how to hold a mic, maybe. But you don't hold a mic in voiceovers, so scratch that. That was dumb. Don't include that.
So you, I start seeing your marketing material as early as 5 o'clock in the morning some days, and then as late as who knows what time in the afternoon. What does your daily schedule generally look like? Because it just seems like you're constantly working.
Well, people wrongly assume that I sleep. And I don't. I mean, the word means nothing to me. So I actually, the wife and I, we haven't done it for a while, but what we used to do is we would stay up and watch like Downton Abbey. So I'm not a closet Downton Abbey lover. I actually love Downton Abbey. I'll go on the record saying that. But we'd go to bed late, and I'd still get up at 4:45, 4:30, 4:45 with a bound out of bed, because I'm excited. Listen, the phrase is really, really true find what you love to do. You'll never work a day in your life. So I don't feel like I work, and I really want to get to work every morning. I'm super excited Sunday night to go to work the next day. I'm super bummed, frankly, on Friday afternoon, because it's like, ugh, do I love my family and my wife and kids and want to spend time with them? Yes, but I really thrive in the context of voiceovers. So my day, it starts early because I started it early to preempt our infant who would wake up early. And so in order to get my auditions in before he cries and needs milk and everything else, he's almost 2 now. So this is 2 years running. I would get up and do a lot of the marketing, knock out a whole bunch of auditions, which I also consider marketing, and then just plunge right into it. And then when my wife is up with the kids and she's got them, I do the handoff, and then I go up, shower, get ready for the day, come right back and just all day long, in and out of the studio, all day long, looking up contacts, all day long, sending out marketing outreaches and touches, and just it's the grind, it's the hustle. I love it.
So I notice you do a lot of outreach where you're constantly email marketing and using LinkedIn and you're using Instagram. What different methods of marketing do you utilize to help your clients find you?
To help my clients find me.
Hmm.
Well, overall, I'm a huge fan of email marketing. I like email. So, and email is very non-intrusive. You land in their inbox, and granted, you do need to make it so that it's a tantalizing email. I was taught put a question in the subject line, a question, because a question begets an answer. So my question is: need a voiceover artist with under 1 hour turnaround time? Question mark. And because I can promise that usually, and there I picture them on the other end going, huh, do I need a voiceover artist with under 1 hour turnaround time? Actually, yes, I do. And then then they'll read the email. But um, boy, emails are non-intrusive. So I'll look up directories online for video producers, e-learning developers, production companies, um, talent agent or ad agencies and things like that. Instagram, I'm really fond of Instagram because you can contact people and draw them to you, hence your question, with hashtags. You can seek them out with hashtags and finding your target client that way. But I love Instagram because people are very active, and on Instagram, what I will usually do is I'll search for customers via hashtags, and then I'll look for them, the recent ones. You can look, search by hashtag, and you can see the top trending people that have posted something with that hashtag, or you can go recent, and it's basically sorted by everybody chronologically. I want to see who was most recently active. That's how I do it, because if they haven't been on for a while, then they're going to be way down at the end of the list, and tells me they're not active. This email might be moot. So direct email and Instagram are primary, and then LinkedIn as well. Big fan of LinkedIn.
So going back to the Instagram, when people find your Instagram, how do you keep that balance between, should my Instagram be all about voiceover, or should I add my personal touches to kind of tell them that I'm human? Like, how do you keep that balance?
Well, ultimately, I forget who it was too. I went to a seminar a while back, and the guy said for every 6 marketing pieces that you put out that are business oriented, one, or no, I'm sorry, for every 6 that are personal, one business. So I tend to do the other way. I don't obey that law very well. It's very clear what I do. It's very clear who I am. And so I don't tend to put a lot of personal stuff, because my attitude is you can surprise someone with, oh, that was neat. Look at all the business stuff that he puts out. It's clear what he does. But look at this. He's got pictures of his kids, and then here's his son who fell asleep watching The Grinch, which I didn't even know was possible, because it's The Grinch. Come on. Or whatever it is, you just post a personal piece, primarily video, because video is just super engaging. Like, a lot of people flock to whatever videos you post. I Part of me says there's a little bit of chaos theory in marketing. Like Jeff Goldblum described it in Jurassic Park. A butterfly can flap its wings in Peking, and in Central Park, you'll get rain instead of sunshine. People say best day to market is Tuesday afternoon. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's empirical studies on that. I just decide to market all the time. So whether I'm pulling them to me, whether I'm reaching out to them, it's just kind of it's an ongoing all day thing every day. And that's how I'm successful.
So going on to your website, you're very big on SEO and keeping things fresh, but I did have a question for you regarding your domain name. So you are seattlevoiceactor.com.
Correct.
And although that is fantastic for people looking for voice actors within the Seattle area, you don't believe that that would limit you to other regions where they're like, well, this is a Seattle voice actor, I need an Atlanta voice actor, or vice versa?
No, not at all. I mean, the way the evolution of the industry, even just last year, by virtue of the pandemic, because people were suddenly working from home and their clients are all over the world, and people are doing Source Connect, in droves, or flocking to Source Connect in droves now, because you don't need to actually go to a studio that is in close proximity to your target client. It's not really an issue anymore. Voiceovers are global. It's digital and it's over the web. So there's this new thing out called the internet. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about that,
Right.
but that actually facilitates quick transfers, real-time transfers in Source Connect of files. Doesn't matter where you are. So yes, I have Seattle voice actor. I thought in some of my marketing, I tend to think I would hate to have not to. I would hate to have not done that and missed an opportunity, i.e. Seattle voice actor. If someone in the Seattle area, and it's big in voiceovers, is searching for a voiceover artist, I want them to be able to find me at the top of the list. If I'm driving in my van, and people are, there happens to be a video producer or an ad exec or an e-learning developer driving along, I want them to see that I have vinyl lettering on my back window. Why wouldn't I do that? Marketing is a bit shameless, but it's also just like completely opportunistic. And I tend to look at it as, if I want this to succeed and I want to put food on our table, I'm going to do everything that I need to do. And I'm not going to worry about, like, you put vinyl lettering on your van for voiceovers? Who does that? Well, me. I do that. And I've actually gotten business because of that. So next question.
Absolutely. So over the years, what have been some of your biggest resources in the voiceover industry that have helped you build that business?
Yeah. So J. Michael, well, first of all, let me go to the very beginning. So from the very beginning, it's been Scott Burns. So my beloved coach. We have a joke in my home that if I left my wife for anybody, it would be for Scott Burns. The man is a wonderful mammal. He is a walking exclamation mark and just an incredible coach. He's exceptionally giving and generous. Super, 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 super nice guy. And he just goes above and beyond to equip you. I'll never forget writing an email that was this big, writing an email that was so marginal, and then getting this, colossal novelistic reply that was not, "Hi, name. Nice to meet you, name. I hear you're interested in voiceovers, name." It was not a mail merge. It was all Scott's genuine, equipping, sacrificial reply to enable me from the very beginning. I was like, I love this guy. And every email since has been that way. I can be very not curt over email, but I can be succinct to the point of like a kind of maybe a brevity that's a little uncalled for sometimes. Scott's the low contraire, very, very generous with his time. So Scott, by far, Pat Fraley, workshops with Pat Fraley. Tracy Lindley with the VO Edge, J. Michael Collins with group coaching, and reviewing my book, my first book that I released, listening and critiquing demos. Mark Scott with Marketing Playbook. Tim Tippett, streamlining your editing at VO Atlanta. I think I already said Tracy Lindley. But a big one for many years now has been Paul Strickwerda. Exceptional blogger. I mean, we blog completely different styles, right. But when I want to put my serious hat on and actually look at my industry through the prism of sense and intelligence, that's where I'll go. Paul is incredibly gifted mentally, emotionally, and I love the guy. Amazing source of inspiration for writing, which is the only thing I like better than blogging or writing about voiceovers is doing voiceovers themselves. So thank you, Paul. Thank you, Yellow Shoes, man.
So, with your writing, what was the inspiration behind writing all of these voiceover books?
Well, the inspiration firstly came from my blog.
Mm-hmm.
When I started blogging, I was very much a straightforward informational blogger. And I came to an epiphany at one point. I don't remember when, but it was like, I'm doing the same thing everybody else is doing. And so why am I doing that? My blog is very similar to, Todd Schick's, Dave Corvasseur. Can I get a translation check? Paul Strickwerda, J. Michael Collins, anybody else who was blogging informationally and stuff and insights into the industry. And I just didn't really want to do that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just, what do I have to offer? I'm just lending my voice to the choir and, just another voice in the choir. So I really wanted to do, I want to encourage. There's a huge encourager inside me. Doctors say if they remove it, I'll die. I actually have to be a giving, encouraging kind of guy. That's pom-poms were built into my DNA. I don't know why. So my blog is meant to encourage and inspire and exhort and give you kind of a shot in the arm. The books came from that. The books were meant to do the exact same thing, but through the lens of life as a VO artist, life as a voice talent, lots of satire and inspiration and laughs and encouragement. There's definitely anecdotes. There's definitely, stories from my life that I consider comical, but also applicable to voiceovers. There's one coming out this Monday that is just a recent happening that I'm so proud of this blog. I'm so proud of how this particular blog article has turned out because it was just and it was perfectly applicable to voiceovers. So inspiration is huge for me.
When you were coming across how to brand yourself, how did you decide what your identity within your business would be?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, like many people, I drew upon Celia Siegel's Voiceover Achiever book. I mean, you're going to call it the gold standard of branding or the gold standard of standing, whatever you want to call it in voiceovers. It's a great book. It's a really, really great book. And so I read that, and she actually challenges you to challenge yourself. She challenges you to sit down and reflect and go, who am I? What do I like? Anyway, before you get into voiceovers. I love Superman, big Superman fan. I don't know if you can see right here, but this is the back alleyway scene in Superman 2 where Clark Kent is running and they superimpose the new footage over the old, and he turns into Superman and flies up into the sky. I just loved it as a kid, flying around with, makeshift cloth capes and stuff. I love Superman. With voiceovers in my repertoire, in my arsenal, I've got a lot of different styles, and you do have to adapt and overcome. The more styles I can present well, not just present, you have to present them well, the more palatable I am to a potential client. So if I can do a British accent well, and I have, and I do, clients say, "You're American?" Pardon, they go, "You're American? I had no idea," And I beat out other Brits sometimes. It just blows me away. But the more palatable I can make myself, the more income I'll make. Plain and simple. So superhuman voice is that side. But we go back to the gratitude and the giving side with the superhuman being. My tagline, I forgot to say, is superhuman being, superhuman voice. Mm-hmm. The superhuman being is I like to give. What a lot of people don't know is about 10 times a week, I do free 20-minute to 30-minute video consults with aspiring and established voice talent. That's time I could spend marketing. That's time I could spend auditioning. That's time I could be spending playing Bejeweled, But I want people to not go to Fiverr. I want people to not go to the Voice Realm. I want people to not go to speedy spots and just say spots and the voice jungle and the bunny. Go where you'll be paid what you're worth. Learn the proper way to do it. My formula is coaching, demo, website, marketing. CDWM. Kudwum. Go coaching. Then you got that foundation. Then demo. Then you got that foundation. Then website. Then you got that. Now market. Now tell everybody. Do it the right way. And do it a way that's proven over and over and over again by vetted, established talent. And make what you deserve. And I just answer questions and help them kind of find their way as they're starting out.
So with there being all of these fast and cheap options out here, how do you portray the value of what you do to your clients?
So I actually have a page on that, and I think that came from Jody Krangle, who had a voiceover guarantee or a voiceover warranty. I think it was a guarantee, talking about the value of your voice. But boy, Paul Strickwerda is a huge communicator of the value of your voice, and I love his quote. You want to avoid the clients that have the fast food. They want they've got gourmet appetites on fast food budget and at drive-through speed.
Right.
You want to avoid those clients. So I have value. I have intrinsic, inherent value as a voice talent who's been doing it for a long time, who's got lots of Fortune 500 companies, under my belt, who knows what he's doing, who returns it quickly, who is no hassle for them. There's value in that. Yeah, you can go to Fiverr and you can get somebody who might do it equally as well, but you're hurting them. You're hurting the industry. They're hurting them. They're hurting the industry. Go with someone who a lot of people say does it well. And I never really have to sell my value. It's just, it speaks for itself. The client names speak for themselves. If you want someone who does it well, who it's kind of like getting a flip phone, but here's a shiny new Apple iPhone. I know this is going to be good. I know it. It doesn't have to say anything to me at all. So, yeah.
So now we know who Josh is inside of the booth. What brings you joy outside of the booth? What are some of your other interests?
That's a really good question. So I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my family. And I love just the inspiration that I get. I just love my family. I'm so grateful for my family. But everybody has to have a hobby. Hopefully voiceovers are not your hobby because they're a horrible hobby. Turn them into a business right away. But I am a massive, I believe the word is dork. Geek. So I was actually called Spedmo Wipe. That's the weirdest term, when I was a kid, because you're a Spedmo Wipe. I don't know. We're just weird. And I still exist in the 80s. So anything 80s is going to instantly appeal to me. But this is one of my favorite collections is my Transformers collection. And so this is Skyfire. And this is from the new War of Cybertron series of the Transformers. This puts the 80s version to shame. Just absolute shame. I mean, it's completely articulating, the hands open, the way these are crafted now and how they transform. This has always been my favorite. And I'm very proud to say that I am friends with Greg Berger, who is the voice of Skyfire and the voice of Grimlock. So Grimlock, the leader of the Dinobots. So I've got Grimlock up there as well, but one at a time. I absolutely love Transformers, and my 5-year-old Brennan unfortunately loves them too. So every time, about 20 times a day when I'm working, he'll come in and he'll stand right behind me. He'll turn around, he'll look up there, and I'll say, "I love you, buddy," and he'll go, "I love you too, Dada." But Dada, yes, Brennan, can I see Skyfire? Can I see Grimlock? Can I see? There's like 20 of them up there, and it's like you have all your own toys. You don't need to play with mine. He's actually broken some, but he doesn't get to take this. This is my beloved. This is who I am outside of the booth. I am a geek and I love anything 80s. Transformers, bottle caps, candy. I know I need to get in shape, but they're a vice. Yeah, I'm very nostalgic. So anything nostalgic, I'm gonna cling to. So you asked, that's the embarrassing answer.
So, if you were to write a letter to yourself before you started within the voiceover world, what would that letter say?
Start earlier. I would say do it earlier. So I bounced in and out of voiceovers for several years. My first taste of voiceovers, and it tastes like chicken, by the way. I don't know if you try some sauce and maybe a little bit of glaze next time. Anyway, um, was 1993. And I wish that I had stayed. I bounced around and was trying several creative avenues: voiceovers, jingles, singing jingles, singles. I just did all kinds of different things that I wish I would have stayed voiceovers exclusively. Um, because I was on the periphery for so many years, just watching and going, well, I like video production as well, so I'll do that, and I can tie in voiceovers when they need one for a corporate job. But I just never thought about doing it full time. I don't know why it didn't click. Doing it full time as a career. Um, and yeah, I mean, the voice bank kind of came to the fore. And then I remember watching a little bit of voice banks being eaten alive by voices.com, 2017, and going, huh, I wonder what that's all about. But I never really thought about doing it by itself as a service unto itself until late 2016. I wish I would have started and focused on it just a lot earlier. So,
Fantastic.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure. I really hope you enjoyed listening to Josh not only enlighten us on how he operates his voiceover business, but also how he keeps the creative batteries refreshed and ready to jumpstart each new and amazing day as the Seattle voice actor himself. If you'd like to find Josh's demo, his awesome blog, or any of the training and coaching materials he has, you can find it all at www.supervoiceoverservices.com. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the VoiceOver Coffee Shop. For more information on guests, new episodes, and more, be sure to visit www.vocoffeeshop.com.